calling the Safer Board of Directors meeting to order. Let's see, President Hebe?
I'm calling the Fire Commission meeting to order.
Okay, and if we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Let's see, roll call for both?
Okay, so we are going to start with...
No more standing, right?
No, you can sit
Until I
down.
leave.
Cronin,
Here.
Colden,
Here.
Langenhan,
Here.
Maloney,
Here.
Opal,
Yes.
and then for the commission, we have Campbell.
Here.
Sorry, I'm getting there. Hebe,
Here.
Jackin,
Present.
Phelps is absent and excused, and Tatro.
Here.
Okay, thank you. B, correspondence comments from the public on anything for the Safer Board of Directors and or, if I'll say for you, for the Safer Fire Commission. Anybody online?
I don't believe so.
No?
We have one joining.
Hand up for this or no? Not for public comments?
Okay,
Anything for public comments or no?
I'm not sure,
You
they
don't
just
see?
joined.
Okay. Any public comments for the Safer Board or Safer Commission? 3 times any public comments for Safer Board or Safer Commission? Hearing none. Moving on to C, consent items.
That says waiting, joining now. Sorry.
Let's see, for the Board of Directors, we can do all 5, 6, and 7 all together. Does the commission agree? Okay, so we're looking for a consent for Board of Directors approval of prior meeting minutes March 10th, Board of Directors approval of expenditures and receipts March 2026, and also for the Fire Commission approval of prior meeting minutes November 4th, 2025. What's your pleasure?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Opal,
Second.
second by Jackin. Can we do that, or do we need 2 different approvals?
I thought it had to be 2 separate
I
motions.
think it is.
Okay, so we'll need
We
a
have up
second,
to-
a second on directors.
So it's going to have to be 5 and 6 and then 7. I was going to bring that up, so. Because it's
So
2
you want to
separate
make some
bodies.
comments?
Yeah, separate.
No
Yeah.
comments, just for approval. You really,
Yeah.
okay. So I guess we're doing just 5 and 6 for the Board of Safer right now. So we have a motion by Opal, a second by
I'll
Colden?
second it.
Okay, by Cronin. Anything on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Now you can take.
I'd like to approve the minutes from our November 4th, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to D for business items. 8, referendum follow-up discussion.
I don't have a lot. I kind of put that on there as a placeholder if either the board or the commission or anybody else wanted to discuss that in any way, shape, or form, but I don't personally have anything for it.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think we should have a conversation about what took place last night.
Well, last night at our board, go ahead.
Dave, you're not muted.
I'll fix them.
So last night at the Village of Weston Board, we did drafted and approved a resolution to close TID 1, which frees up, we don't know exactly how much money yet. Jamie, feel free to jump in if you want to provide some specifics here, but that did occur last night. So even though the referendum did not pass, there's gonna have to be some decisions that are made by the new board going forward.
The state had a deadline by April 15th that we had to close TID 1, which is basically that whole Weston Avenue, the hospital, all that out there, the business park, I believe, Wausau Supply, all that. So that's a monster, very, very successful TIF district that we've had. And so we got that in under the wire on the 13th. We did decide to do that prior to the results of the election, which was definitely questioned by several residents, but we did it beforehand. And we've been discussing it for years. Most trustees brought it up, many residents brought it up, what we're gonna do, when we're gonna close it, can we partially close it? So once the numbers start coming in, there's still some bills to be paid, but we're very confident that we'll have that handled this year from our administrator and Jessica Troutman, who also handles this board here in the SAFER, for the money. So we'll see where that puts us.
It is,
Yeah.
I just want to be clear, it is not $600,000.
No,
It won't
no,
even be
no.
close. And we do have expenses that are charged to the TIF that will have to go back to the general fund. And so a large portion of that will be the reallocation of things that were administrative costs that go back to
Correct.
the general
Yep.
fund.
How old was that tip?
What? 1998.
98.
Yep, and I'll tell you, if you want to listen to some stuff, Joe Jordan, he used to be the CEO of Wassa Supply, retired a couple years ago. He's been on our board. He's still going to be on some committees and commissions. And he spoke last night at the end under remarks. And when they entered into that TIF district, they had 50 employees for Wassa Supply. 50. That's it. And they built out there, and they built out there, and they built out there, and they built out there. I mean, I think, what do they say, 600-700 employees out there?
There's more than that.
More than
It's gotta
that,
be
probably
more than
1,000. And I mean, that's their headquarters. They've built 12 other sites in the country, and they are a monster supply. Wassa Supply is just monstrous with very, very big items and stuff. So, but he just spoke. He had a spectacular remarks at the end of our meeting last night. I've never heard him talk that much. So yeah, he really, I mean, some really nice send-offs on the village and stuff. So it just was really nice to hear. So anyway, but that happened last night. So yeah, it's the people spoke, and we'll see where we are. We'll gather around the fire and see what's happening.
I think when we started the referendum process, I think one of the first things we did was ask SAFER, what are you looking for? That's how we came up with the 6, and then we did the math on that. Then we went to Rib Mountain and said, are we on the same page? The board for Rib Mountain agreed. We brought it back to SAFER. We went forward to the village board and approved it. I would think our follow-up now would be similar. Is the request still 6 halfway through 2027? Is the request 3 and 3? And I would think the SAFER board would have that conversation. They would forward a recommendation to Rib Mountain and to Weston. That would come back to SAFER, and that would be allocated in the budgets, just so we were all on the same page, that whatever that budget request would be, both municipalities are in agreement of fulfilling that through the budget season this fall.
Okay.
I think
So-
that the referendum was a victim of angry taxpayers in Weston with the Taj Mahal, so to speak. Garage Mahal. Garage Mahal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you.
And the $600,000 cop shop.
Yep.
I think if it wasn't for that, I think it would have really flown.
We probably, thinking in hindsight, we probably pushed the police thing too soon. And we could have definitely left that off, but we were trying to get this in a building cycle for this year to start, and that definitely messed it up. The Taj Mahal, I'll defend that all day long. I mean, we cut
yes.
$5 to $6 million out of that initially, and it's definitely needed. We had to stay up to our standards of Rib Mountain, with all the stuff they have. So so we can't fool around. We gotta build it, and not as nice, but we tried. So anyway, but I agree with you, Gene. So yep.
So what about the fire fee? Now, to me, that seemed, I know there's some legal thing going on with some other community, but to me, that seemed like the smart way to go, because everybody pays for the fire department. You have your nonprofits, you have your hospital and things like that, the school district, everybody would be paying for it. And then it would be allocated, my understanding is, the bigger user, the bigger companies would probably pay more.
Yep.
And it just made more sense. But
It did make more sense, but then we went down the referendum, side, and I publicly stated that if this referendum fails, I will not support a fee. I can't do it. I mean, honest to God, we've been all pummeled too much, and it's just not fair, because there's too many great things happening in Weston. We are on a just fantastic growth. Everything, we got tons of stuff coming in, and we're going to find out a different way. We're going to find a different way to staff more
Wouldn't that reduce the
firefighters.
tax
Hmm?
to the, wouldn't that reduce the tax the person is paying?
Would it?
Because-
You're paying a
because
fee
it would be
now.
coming off of the taxes.
But you're paying a fee.
You're paying a fee.
Yeah. You're paying a
But
fee.
more
and-
people are paying it.
And, and everyone's paying a fee. So now I pay my taxes and now I'm gonna get a fee also, plus I pay a garbage fee. Yeah, it's, yeah,
There is a one-time adjustment to the levy if you.
yeah, there would be a
There would be a
one-time
one-time
lowering,
adjustment
yep,
lowering,
Yeah.
yes.
yep.
Still
So that
hearing-
hurts too, yeah.
I'm still hearing about the wheel tax. County passengers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, actually.
$25.
Okay.
If I can just add one thing, that
Yeah.
when, obviously we did a lot with the village with some listening sessions and some, I don't remember exactly what else we called them. What were the other ones called?
Question and answer.
Question and answer, thank you. And then we got some phone calls and some emails, and there was obviously a ton of social media discussion and some letters to the editor and those types of things. And the one, I would say, common theme that myself and Eric heard several times is in the village of Weston, we have the heavy rescue truck that's over there. And that truck responds fairly often, and it goes and assists the ambulance, and it first responds to medical calls, and it goes to fires, and it goes to crashes, it goes to a lot of different calls. And the residents seem to be very angry about that truck being out and about in town. We heard many times they don't want that truck running around town because they think it's a waste of money. Eric literally was on the phone for 45 minutes being screamed at about 2 weeks ago because the truck went to a call. So we're looking at ways to see if we can modify that. I have not come up with anything yet that's going to be appeasing to the public and still deliver a level of service. We do that because that truck, the ambulance only has 2 people on it now. We used to run 3, but we've cut down to 2 to try to save money. So we send that truck with for multiple reasons. A lot of time it's to help provide medical care on more serious calls. Sometimes if we have, somebody that weighs 250, 300 pounds in the basement, they have to be carried out. That's not easy to do for 2 people. So we send that truck. What we hear back then is, why can't you just throw one person in a pickup truck? And the reason we don't do that is because then if there's a fire at the same time, or a motor vehicle crash, or a carbon monoxide alarm, or name your other emergency, that truck can leave and respond to it. The feedback we got is they're willing to wait, or just call Riverside.
On the 45-minute call, I would have hung up on Grace, so I'm sorry.
It wasn't.
But I know, but I had to say that anyway. So, a common naysayer. Back in the 90s when I was running 29 Superfoods, and the ambulance showed up in the front of the store, and 2, personnel would come out and shop, for groceries, for cooking. And at first I thought, what, are you serious? You're getting groceries? And the first time I asked them, and as professional as possible, they said, this is because we can respond. If we got a half a cart of groceries and we get a response, we're gone. You're putting your groceries away. You're putting everything away, the ice cream, the desserts. I'm just kidding. But then I found out that when that ambulance sits in front by the front door, parked there, I get more business. So I encourage them to come and park there as often as they wanted to. But I mean, seriously,
That could be a bad sign.
yeah, but people don't understand, the way, the function, the protocols are on how things are. And it's amazing after you try to teach them and inform them how it works, that they still think it's a waste of time. They don't understand, if they were making a 911 call, they wouldn't care what comes. I'll tell you, I want everything there. I'll be at the front step, by the way, because I'm that 300-pounder that's sitting in the basement. I don't want you guys to drag me through.
I want Mike there.
Yeah, there you go. Steve, go ahead.
I would caution you on changing response protocols because
wouldn't-
a couple of
Yep, I
people
wouldn't
are
change it all.
calling and complaining
It's been
and
more
yelling
than
at you for 45 minutes.
It's been more than a couple. It's been a lot.
Well,
Well,
respectfully, they don't understand
Yeah.
why you're doing what you're doing.
You guys,
And they can sit there and say they do till they're blue in the face, but the fact is, they haven't been here, they haven't done this job, and they don't know.
I agree.
even Jim Pincinel wrote something in a letter. I saw something that he was here for a day or half a day,
Yeah.
and he was shocked at what all went into this, the training, everything. But whatever, it still wrote a letter. So
Last week,
Yep.
our Rotary Club met at the Wausau Fire Department. The chief spoke for a while. And I brought up to him the same thing I brought up here a number of times. And I know you guys have talked about it, like the police department and the sheriff's department have had citizens academies.
yep,
And it answers all those questions.
We just did one.
We did one.
yeah, we did.
Well, that
yeah.
was an open house kind of.
No, it was the Citizens Academy.
Yeah,
Was it one day?
Yep.
Okay.
yeah.
Aaron,
The ones I'm
Yeah.
talking about, the sheriff's department was 12 weeks. The police department was 8 or 10, and it's one night a week for 3 or 4 hours. And you go through the entire operation and what they do, and you come on there going, holy crap, are we lucky to live here? I didn't know that, I didn't know that.
Right.
And they invited people from the community, from business, they invited media, so the television or radio people, and just ordinary citizens.
Yeah.
And that word starts spreading, and I know it's a lot of work. So I said, is there any reason why the Wausau and the Safer can't combine? Because it'd help all of you, and it'd help in recruiting as
Right.
well. And it's good marketing, and you'll get a lot more positive news cycles, and it would address the things like the referendum and
Yeah.
the thing with why does the 2 trucks show up instead of 1? And a lot of people think that. And it was obviously answered on that with Chicago Fire. That was one of the questions that came up in one of the programs, and they answered it exactly the way.
Yeah. The thing is, we'd probably want to, spotlight the naysayers and invite them to try to get them to come to change that mind. Because that's the one that we need to change. Some of these people are just complete support, yet they'll know more, they'll understand more. So, you know what, I just want to make a quick introduction. This is Lisa Beck back here. And Lisa Beck is one of the new trustees with the Village of Weston. So, and now that I told her prior to this, but Thursday we'll have a packet go out on the commission and committee, and she'll be the new board, one of the directors on this board for the Safer. And just so you know, Lisa, the board is here, and then that's the commission. Yep. And we don't always meet together. Probably once a year.
I think this might be the first time we've met together.
I kind of thought
We did it once before.
I thought we did once before. Yeah. So, yeah.
November was the last meeting.
Yep. Okay.
Together.
Oh, the joint.
Together.
Yeah. Joint.
Doesn't
So
happen very
I was remiss in not doing that. So okay.
So can I
Okay.
ask a question about that
Yeah.
then?
Go ahead.
What is the difference?
What is the difference?
Yeah.
Staff operations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could
that's staff. Yeah.
I could tell you the difference. It boils down to when there comes an employee termination issue, and basically it's a judge and jury thing. So the commission has the final say when it comes to employee termination if they choose to file a grievance. If I terminate somebody, it's different in fire and police. I bring them up on charges for termination. They get served papers, and the board will take part in that, but the commission makes the final decision on whether that person gets terminated or not if they choose
No control
to.
over money. But
Yeah, we're
last
budget
thing-
and the chief.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hire, fire, discipline.
Yep.
That's what we do.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. And we have the same thing with Mountain Bay Metro too. There's a board, oversight board, and then a commission for the police too. Okay.
And just to go off on,
Yeah.
if you don't mind,
Yeah.
the Citizens Academy, just to kind of do that. I did do that 3 weeks ago, and I found it very worthwhile. I was pretty impressed with what we got to do. If it was 8 to 12 weeks, I wouldn't sign up for that. There's no way I would have time for it. I got other things to do in my life, and I got a job. So there's no way in heck you would catch me doing 8 to 12 weeks. This was very, very, very
Yeah.
good, very well done.
Yeah.
I
We did it
appreciate
in one weekend, right, or one day?
one day.
day.
Yeah, we're talking.
And it was enough. It was enough just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
And so I found
Response
it
overwhelmingly positive?
Yes,
How
yep.
many people?
with 7.
Was it 7? Yep.
That's pretty good.
Because normally they're, 10 to 12 people,
Yeah.
15 maybe.
Okay.
It's not 50 people.
Okay.
But it was quite a few younger.
Mhm.
folks,
It was.
So
Yep.
that was good.
That's good.
Okay. Anything more on the referendum follow-up? Any more discussion on the referendum with Weston? No. All right. Let's move on to 9. Discussion and possible action on contracted fire areas.
So we've talked about this a little bit in the past. I don't know that it's ever been an official agenda item, but I've mentioned it in the past. So we cover, obviously, the Village of Weston and the Village of Rib Mountain for our full services, and then we have contracts with multiple municipalities for EMS coverage. And we have contracts with the town of Marathon, the town of Stettin, and the town of Weston for fire coverage. The town of Stettin is a little bit different because we split that with the Village of Maine. My concern as we move forward, the same concern that I brought up a couple other times, is we're going to talk about Marathon mostly right now, is that we, many times, only if the ambulance is out of the station, we only have 1 or 2 people left here. And if we have 2, the second is usually the intern, which may or may not have fire training depending on their cycle. So especially when the ambulance is out, we're going to respond to a large structure fire in the town of Marathon with 1 person. And I just don't think it's safe for us. I don't think it's the right position to put our people in. I don't think it's the best service to the town of Marathon either. Now, we have automatic aid coming from Mosinee with a tender, but it's going to be a bit before they get there, and they're really just there to haul water. And obviously, we'll have people coming from the other station, but that's going to be a hike for them to get over here. So, again, after the referendum failure, I just wanted to bring forward to the board if we feel that's what we want to do, because the other consideration is that then for the duration of that incident, whether it's in Marathon, Stettin, or the town of Weston, we have to remember that our entire area is uncovered.
Depleted, yep.
Everybody's out. So we are at that point reliant 100% on either Riverside or Wausau to cover our area.
What is our relationship with the city of Marathon?
I would say it's better since they've had some change over
Would
there.
they be responding?
No, I've tried for the last year. They won't do it.
Andy's
Well,
gone.
I know we had that,
Yeah,
you
Andy's
know,
gone. Okay.
I know we kind of cut ourselves away from them, actually. We were the ones to leave them, I think.
Well, it's just too much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their new administrator does seem to be very nice. I've had several conversations with him. Their new fire chief seems to be nice. I've met with him. I just talked to him actually during the blizzard because he was asking some questions about how we were doing things. And I have met with them on a couple occasions to try to go back to the split 50-50 thing. They won't. And in fact, when a few years ago already, they sent me a very detailed list that I believe I brought to the board at that time of how much they were going to charge us if we call them.
I saw it, yeah.
Remember that.
And we had several talks with the crews.
Yep.
You know, we had the crews together, and
Yep.
it just didn't go anywhere, yeah.
Where would the town of Marathon go then, if not to
The
the,
village of Marathon City.
oh, but isn't that what, you're just saying that they went?
They won't work with us. They'll
Yeah.
contract directly with them.
Directly
they won't,
with them.
They
Yeah.
won't work with us though.
Oh.
And they do, right? They contract directly with you?
We don't,
Oh, you
we
don't?
don't want to contract.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We-
To be honest. That's-
We
that's
cover
why
them
we're here.
100% right now. And the other issue that plays into this is especially over the past year, the response from the Village of Maine Fire Department to Stettin has become minimal and it's sometimes non-existent. We've had 2 incidents already there this year. Again, it's supposed to be 50-50. We share the fee that the town of Stettin pays us, and we split it 50-50 with the Village of Maine. And I mean, obviously, there's not a ton of calls in these rural areas, but we've already had 2 calls there this year where Maine Fire Department didn't show up at all because they don't have anybody.
And Wausau's bypassed? The contract's with us?
Contract is with us.
And then, so Wausau comes in after us, if it's a mutual aid?
We would call a Mavis
Yeah,
alarm
a
at that
Mavis
point,
alarm,
so then
okay.
yes, Wausau
Okay.
would come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they not showing because of the lack of personnel?
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
They had a real mess, what,
Yep.
6, 7, 9 months ago or something?
Yeah, and I mean, even before that,
Yeah,
they did.
yeah. It was, we knew it was coming, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and like I have in the memo in there, there's I don't know what the board wants to do. If we do decide to do anything, I wanted to bring this earlier than later to let these municipalities make other plans. There's budgetary impacts. I just want to at a minimum, make the board aware of the issues that are there.
Thank you.
Well, I'm probably the closest resident or business owner to the Marathon Fire Department. And when I had a combine fire 5-6 years ago, that didn't help the relationship any. You guys followed each other in the yard. So as far as service, I don't see where we're getting hurt either way. But the problem comes into is billing, and then they tried to sue Safer and everything else over a combine fire. Some of the mentality there has changed since their administrator left town, but they have all kinds of other problems. They reported to the state about Safer's poor ISO rating. So now all of us, my insurance went up over $1,000 a year over that, my home insurance and property and liability insurance. Everybody in the townships went up, but now they can't meet an ISO rating either because they got a truck that went down and they're waiting for a new truck. So I don't know, it's time someone increases the rates in the village too, because they don't meet their own ISO
Right.
rating that they
Right.
squealed on everybody in the town of Marathon about. So it's a mess, and
Yeah.
it's time the whole area gets better fire service and has to start paying for it. Have enough men and whatever, but referendums get turned down. There's the innovation grant that was available. nobody from the county wrote a grant application for that. How much money would that have gave the municipalities? Mosinee tried for it. I don't know how much money Weston Remount was gonna get out of that,
I
but
think we looked at it, but we weren't gonna meet the criteria, if I remember, because we had a conversation about this, didn't we?
No, it was Mosinee Fire Department wrote the grant. They were awarded the grant to do the study. The study said it would have been beneficial to merge, but Mosinee Fire District chose not to discuss the merger.
You're right.
but there were a lot of dollars that were gonna come along with that
Correct.
merger.
Correct.
And that all got overlooked because of personalities and everything else rather than dollars. Weston was gonna get a hunk of money, Remount was gonna get a hunk of money, and all that, the dividing vote was the town of Knowlton. It was 2-2. Knowlton was the deciding factor in voting no.
Okay.
So, I understand very little or no of that money got spent out of that first round, so I would imagine the state will open up a second round of that. So I don't know what municipalities here and who is gonna have their act together to reapply again, or whatever, but something needs to be done in the whole county, not just dumping town of Marathon or whatever.
Right.
There's a shortage in the whole county.
In the first round too, they awarded the largest fire merger in Milwaukee with the innovation
Right.
grant. The largest fire merger in the state, so several of the Milwaukee departments.
How
all
many,
came together.
Jamie, were awarded? Was that the only one?
I
I know there was very little of that first round spent.
don't know the total number of awards that were granted, but I do know that it'll be Milwaukee Metro Fire going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Wauwatosa? With Wauwatosa?
It was Wauwatosa,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Holy mackerel.
But that's what they named it, I thought, was Milwaukee Metro Fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any more? Good, you good, chief?
I'm good, yep.
Okay. 10, end of the month budget review.
There is an updated budget,
Yep.
so ignore the one that's in your packet.
Okay.
This one was updated as of today. It's the biggest change is just there's one more payroll, correct?
Yes.
One more payroll was added into the budget. Other than that, the rest of the lines are all the same. But,
Okay. A review only.
so yeah, we are running pretty close to on target. I did the math today. We are over budget in payroll right now. The issue we have is I had somebody that's been on light duty since last year. They finally got cleared last week to come back to full duty. We are short we were short a battalion chief. We promoted one, now we're short a captain. I have one captain that's been out for personal reasons, and we have another battalion chief that broke his leg. So we've been extremely short. So we've had a fair amount of overtime that we've been paying for the last several months. Actually, really this entire year. We've been paying a lot of overtime shifts.
How are we doing on collections?
We're running behind on revenue right now. So the good news is that we're billing out more than we billed out last year. We're to the tune of close to $500,000 more in amount that we billed out. The bad news is our collections are down. However, that's fairly normal for the first quarter.
Or
Yeah.
behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fairly normal for the first quarter of the year because their deductibles catch up during the first quarter. So I'm hopeful that next month we should start to see a fairly decent increase in revenues come in. But the good news is, like I said, is that our billing, the amount of money that we actually billed out has gone up quite a bit.
Okay. Any more questions? This is a review only. Okay. Any attorney referrals? I didn't hear of any. No? Staff reports. Report from the fire chief.
I did want to give Callie the opportunity to talk about the paramedic class. I don't know if you have anything you want to discuss with that, but
Sure.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, that's okay. So for those of you who don't know, we are supporting a cohort of 10 SAFER employees who are currently enrolled in NTC's paramedic program. A few years ago, NTC made the decision to move to a completely online, or I should say somewhat hybrid, but mostly online method of instruction, which is desirable for some, but we had heard for several years was not the desired method that any member here who would want to participate would want to do. So for a while, we were actually having students go to Mid-State Technical College in Wisconsin Rapids. So driving there, going there, attending classes. But this probably in November of this past year, we started having discussions with NTC regarding what it would look like if we enrolled students in their program, but hosted kind of in-person lecture learning days here. They were open to that. They were open to kind of allowing us to have the content and kind of be involved in having the materials available. And as such, we actually had 10 members decide that they wanted to do this. So that's a huge undertaking to essentially be a student full-time and also be working full-time. Not only do we have, so we've got 10, 2 of which are part-time, 3 of which are, I should say 2 of which are full-time members who it's contingent, they need to become a paramedic. But we also had a total of 3 members who have been well-established in the fire and EMS community for, gosh, probably 15 years, and all have been working as AEMTs who have all decided to go back to school to do this, to become paramedics. They could have easily not done it. Their employment was not contingent on it, but they have all elected to do this. And so far, they're through their first 8-week module. We're 3 weeks into the second 8-week module. And everybody, as of the first part of the semester, was all getting A's, which is very difficult when balancing everything. So every Tuesday and Thursday in this classroom, we lecture from 9 to 4. We have a lunch break. They are starting to do clinicals, so they are starting to get patient contacts and being able to start doing some paramedic level skills under their paramedic learning training permit. And I'm overall just very excited. It's a very interesting thing to see it, individuals who have been doing this for so many years in their 40s and 18-year-olds who are new to the profession, and how interesting it is that they all help each other and they all learn, and the cohort is functioning so well together. They all help each other immensely. So it's very rewarding from kind of our aspect, getting to see them start applying what they're learning. But I'm very excited that come hopefully October, November, we're going to have 10 paramedics who are employed here in addition to what we already have.
Good. Outstanding.
Fantastic.
Great report.
I'm gonna turn back the Wayback Machine here. Is our relationship with NTC really, really good now? Because at one time, we were looking at the devil.
Yeah.
I think it would depend who you talk to. I'll let Callie answer that question.
No, I mean, so
Probably in my best interest.
So, right now, we've actually the 2 individuals who are kind of the leads at NTC, one of which is a part-time member here who's been here for many years, one of which used to work here. I would say that we function well together. We're to the point where we see a commonality. Like, we all want the same thing. They want their program to be successful. They don't, when they report their graduation success rate and their first pass rate for that national registry exam, they don't say and these 10 were doing this special cohort. It boosts their overall number. So I think they know that these 10 students doing well, no matter how they do it, is beneficial. Yep. So there have been several times I've met with Will and ID are the 2 that we work with, that we go over how the students are doing. We talk about different things, what material I need, what we can do. We, in turn, are going to be going to some of their stuff and helping out with some of the skills stuff as well. So it's been a good relationship, and I think it'll do wonders going forward, too, that we have this successful program together.
Good.
As long as we stay away from the education part.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's...
Well,
Take the money.
there's several people not there anymore, so that's good.
There was a retirement.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
All I can remember is the lady that was
Yep.
The doctor.
the chief executive out
Yeah,
there.
Doctor.
I thought she was gonna jump across the table and strangle me.
That's spicy.
Okay. All right. Any more on reports?
Yep, I got just a couple things. We had a structure fire on Carter Street in the village of Weston a couple weeks ago. It came at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Garage was fully involved when the crews got there. They did a pretty good job of knocking it down, kept it out of the house for the most part. I don't know what the status of that house is. You might know more than I
It's
do.
been posted uninhabitable. I don't know it's an older home.
It is, yep.
Old farm home, so who
Yep.
knows what the insurance company is gonna say, and try to tear it down and start over.
Okay.
Yep, and then they had the large fire at Crystal Finishing in Mosinee on Saturday, late afternoon, early evening. We had a crew down there for about 4 hours or so, I think they were there. And they put out a fair amount of fire. They were one of the crews inside for quite a while. So other than that, everything is moving along about like normal, I would say.
Okay.
Good.
Nothing else too interesting.
Any questions for Chief?
Oh, I do have one more thing. I apologize. We did replace the open battalion chief position we had. So Mark Myers resigned and took a job with Stevens Point Fire. And we promoted Glenn Novak. We swore him in tonight. So he was a captain, was promoted to battalion chief. Next week we are running a process to fill that open captain's position. There's the possibility that may be one of our current engineers. Then we'll have to fill an engineer position. So it just keeps. We also have some outside applicants for that
battalion
position.
chief is
as well, so-
non-union?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, good for him.
So there is a little bit of movement there with personnel.
Okay, good. All right. Now, any more questions? Unless you have more?
Nope, that's it.
No, okay. Okay, hearing none. Let's move on to F for any remarks from the Fire Commission. Take it away. None? Okay.
I'm just curious about one thing. On the ski hill, who is responsible for getting somebody off the hill up until the transport happens?
Ski patrol.
Ski patrol, yep.
Everything. We don't do any rescues up there or
No,
anything?
no, ski patrol does that.
Okay.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, don't we assist with, if a chairlift ever were to have an issue?
It
That would be
depends.
something we would assist with, correct?
It depends. Sometimes they'll call us, sometimes they don't. I think there's some variables there. How many people are on the lift, how many need to be evacuated, how many ski patrollers they have working. They had a lift failure right at the end of the season here, and they didn't call us.
Okay.
They evacuated themselves.
Is 3 a large number in 1 year? 3 deceased?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've never had more than one
Okay.
that I can recall. It's not uncommon to have one, but to have 3 in 1 year is definitely
All out of the area?
I
thought,
believe so.
yep,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
And all trees?
Trees are.
Okay.
I think trees are rocks.
Yeah. Okay. G, remarks from the Board of Directors. Al?
Well, I guess since the referendum failed and we're going to be talking about staffing in the future. And it's my personal opinion, and again, I don't speak for anybody else, but if we look at it at a little more leisurely rate, the rate of hire, I think we'll get a lot of cooperation, probably from my board also. So.
Okay, good. Thank you. The best dressed person in the room? Golden? Any remark? No? I feel terrible. I honestly feel terrible.
I got gray
Yeah.
socks on.
I'm putting a jacket in my car next time, so, no.
Silly.
Actually, you brought the whole thing up, so anyway, go ahead.
What is your name?
Aaron Colden.
Aaron Colden, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Aaron?
Aaron
Yeah.
Colden. Yep.
Yep. So,
Rib Mountain.
Rib Mountain, yeah.
Took over from Fred.
Yep.
Oh, okay, you took Fred's spot.
And
Got it, good.
my wife is the clerk for the village of Rib Mountain, so kind of been involved on, I mean, that's how I got into it.
A little bit of nepotism, yeah.
Full disclosure. So, I would just say, as I said, just a quick review, when I did the Citizens Academy, it was the first time that we had done that ever or in a while.
Ever.
Oh,
So,
really? I thought we have done it before.
I think the couple things that really impressed me was the amount, the attendance that we had, the amount of staff that were there, people that came in on their day off, the amount of support that you got from the other firefighters, the other crew, super impressive. Being able to utilize the equipment. I'm glad that there wasn't a live fire. It was just smoke that I was crawling through, and no fire. That was good to do. But being able to we got in kind of a fire scenario, and then it was a car accident. We got out the jaws of life and tore apart a car. We were busting glass, doing a bunch of different things. So it was good to kind of see 2 different aspects of what I think the firefighters do probably most of the time. That was my opinion, and got in and learned some things, and I realized I'm just way too freaking old and way too out of shape to be a firefighter. So I'm glad that I was.
And you're young.
Yeah, and you're young, actually, yeah.
But I'm 10 years older than any of these guys, so I was like, I'm good. But no, I really have to tip my hat to everything that went on. I think firefighter John did a great job. The whole crew did a great job, so thank you for putting that on, Chief Hickey. It was really, really good.
Yeah, no, and the guys honestly did 95% of the work. They just asked me if they could. So I personally didn't have a ton of time into it, but the guys did a good job with
Do
it.
you think that they'll want to do that again, say, next year or something?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be an every year thing, maybe every other year or
Okay.
something like that, but yeah, it'll definitely happen
It would be
again.
nice, because I think a lot of people
Yep.
out there are
Yep.
like, yeah, what did actually happen?
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's something to certainly take a look at, because, to your point, when you brought that up and said, 8 to 12-week course, there's no way in heck I would sign up for that. But the 1 day thing, it was not a waste of my day.
What's it, like a 12-hour day?
No, felt like it at the end of the day. But, no, it was from 9 to 3.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
And that's
Well,
fine.
that's like 2 weeks out of the 12.
yeah. But it was really good. So I would definitely recommend that we try to do that more, particularly trying to get more engaged with the community and getting more out there. So it was well worth it.
Good.
Make sure media's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree.
Okay.
Do you send out invitations for that, or is it just walk-ins?
No, there was invites, yeah.
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 It was online. You could
Yep.
find
Yeah.
it online. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there was.
Good. Okay. I did forget, Fire Commission, did you want to set a date or not yet? It just had date for both of these.
We usually set it up for every other month, and then if there's nothing to discuss, then we just cancel.
Okay, so, and Chair, you're on
So
that,
we
right?
should
Okay,
probably do that.
okay.
June, we could do like set it up for June 9th.
Sure, why not?
That work?
Okay. All right, thank you.
At 4
I
PM,
just-
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
At 4 PM.
Yep.
4 p.m., yeah.
Okay.
All right, so moving on here, Keith, any remarks? No?
None.
Steve, thank you for your service.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Are you going to stay on as a volunteer or firefighter? No? No?
Probably.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Good for you. Good for you. You got the red Camaro, so you might as well stick it out, right? Just all you need is a light,
Put an emblem on the
some,
door.
yeah, maybe.
No.
And I have none either. It's nice to have a meeting together with the commission, so good. And I was very fortunate to have Lisa here to introduce her, so very good. Everybody keep up the good work. And then the next meeting date for us, Sheriff?
May 12th at 5:30. Can we go earlier than 5:30? What is your pleasure?
I will not be here on May 12th.
You will
Okay.
not be
I will
here on
not
May
be- I'll
12th.
be out of country.
What day is May 12th?
That would be the second Tuesday in May.
Yeah, I'm fine on the 12th. Lisa?
Yeah, I'm good.
May 12th?
I
Okay.
always like earlier, but that's just
Yeah.
me.
Well,
Keith?
I'm retired.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I
okay.
am too.
I like
Right.
earlier
Okay.
too.
to go.
4 o'clock then, or is that?
3:55. Let's make it earlier. What the hell? Just kidding. 4 o'clock is fine. I'm just teasing.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 o'clock on the.
Yeah, 4 o'clock on the 12th, Tuesday of May.
Perfect.
And,
I will send that out tomorrow.
Okay. You want to adjourn your commission?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. I'll adjourn. Motion to adjourn for
Move to adjourn.
by Hopel, second by Cronin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Adjourned at 5:15.